Hey. Alright, how's it going, guys? Alright, how's it going, guys? Welcome back to another video. So today's video is a extension and a full guide of a reel I posted a little while ago. And that is how to become him over summer and shock everyone when school opens again. Hold on, Yo, sorry guys, I got insane allergies. School is pretty much over for me, actually. I mean, I got my yearbook right here. Yeah. I don't know why I showed you guys this. But yeah, school is pretty much over. I got a bunch of signatures and shit like that. Yeah, I'll show you this one because, yeah, it's the only one that's related to my YouTube channel. I don't know if y'all can see that. It says, acts likes gratitudes. I really just wrote that as a signature. But yeah, summer is about to start. It's practically started. Yesterday was the first day. So this is the perfect time to make this video. And today, in this video, I'm gonna be showing you how you can literally become him and shock everyone in school when it opens again. So people look at you and be like, how the fuck did you do this in 2 months? Let's go. The first part is pretty obvious, have a glow up, but this is a very vague term, so I'm gonna go more in depth with it. Your glow up should consist of 3 things. Not only just your face, like facial structure, but your fashion style and your hair as well. So when I was in grade 10, I did this kind of looks maxing shit. Yeah, I actually called it that. Everyone knows what looks maxing is, but I actually did that. And I did a bunch of various things, and I would like to say that it actually worked because I actually look a lot more older and a lot more my age after that. I grew this goatee. Back then in grade 10, I didn't have this goatee. So I grew a goatee, I grew my hair out, I changed my hairstyle, and I did various exercises to change my facial structure. And I did one thing, there's one insecurity that I had, was my nose. And it still kind of is, but my nose is massive. But back then, it was even bigger. And somehow, I made it smaller with various exercises. And same thing with the rest of my face. Like my jaw is more defined, the bones are like more visible, I like to say. And yeah, I just look a lot more older. Like I'll show 2 pictures. Here's me before, and then here's me like summer, I like to say. So yeah, a bunch of shit. Like I just look a lot more older, and I'd like to say better as well, because I also changed my fashion sense as well. So these 3 main things will make you look a lot better, and even just then will shock a bunch of people. So let me explain how you can do these 3 things. Number 1, for facial structure and jaw muscles and jaw like bone structure, eat harder foods. A bunch of people actually have these jaw like masseter trainers right here. They're like these small things which you pop into your mouth. They're like plastic, and yeah, they kind of work. I'm not gonna lie. Because a lot of people, they like to put it in their back, like their molars, and just like chew it. That doesn't do a whole lot. But if you're one of those people who like put it in like here, this actually trains a really specific muscle. Like if you were to do this and then bite it like this, it trains a specific muscle over here and also like here, and it builds that bone structure and also the muscles, which makes your jaw more defined. But honestly, that thing is like, I don't know, you could do that by like, I feel like you should do it with like harder foods as well, because honestly these things lose their like tension after a long day. If you're eating things like steak is like fucking like, if you eat it medium rare, don't eat it like blue, but like medium rare is pretty good. That will really train your jaw muscles, like if you chew on that. And carrots I feel like are a huge thing. They really like hard foods, anything that's like hard to eat, that'll like eat a lot more hard foods like steak, carrots, and yeah, literally anything that's hard, it'll train your jaw muscles. And also the bone structure as well. A lot of people, they try to train the jaw muscles. So the problem with this is that this, like, okay, a lot of people, they're focused on the muscles. And the way that they do that is they pop these in the back in their molars and try to train the muscle around. Everyone tries to train that for their fucking jaw, and then try to like mog everyone. The thing is that your jaw is not only just this one muscle. It's the bone structure here, is how debloated your face is as well, but also a bunch of bone structure up here as well. And a lot of people, they underestimate how much they can change if they train like their bone muscle up here as well. So there's 2 things that you gotta do to actually train bone structure in your entire face. Actually 3 things I would like to say. First, mainly the jaw, I like to say. Number 1 is eat harder foods and chew them not only just in your molars, but like maybe in your front teeth as well. And 2, incorporate the chew hard type of chewing style, which is literally you just press down even harder. Like, so if you're eating steak and carrots every day, those are the only 2 examples I can really think of. Ice don't do ice. That's just gonna break your fucking teeth. But steak and carrots, try to chew it, not just here, like just anywhere. Like I feel like you should balance it out, I guess. Chew in different places. Don't just chew in the back of your molars. And also incorporate the chew hard type of technique. It sounds a lot easier and you're thinking, how will that change the bone? Trust me, a bone actually, it sounds insane, but it grows very similarly to a muscle. And by training that, it gets stronger and bigger. It's like, imagine Muay Thai fighters, they kick the shit out of their shins, but what happens to it? It gets stronger and it changes and it gets bigger. So yeah, same thing happens up here. And that's why actually a lot of people, there's called a hammer technique. This is by far the dumbest idea I've ever seen. And this is why people like looks maxers, I'm not a looks maxer, please don't consider me that. But this is why I was kind of ashamed to be on looks maxing back then, because it was such a meme, and it's for dumbass people who decide to do this one thing. There were techniques out there. It was like, how do you get your jaw a better shape? One video said to take a hammer and smash the side of your jaw with it. That's the dumbest idea I've ever fucking heard. So yeah, don't do that. But yeah, bone structure is actually really easy to gain. Another side thing is debloat your face. Debloating is like pushing water out of your face. So that's mainly caused due to inflammation. So number one is eat lower inflammation foods like a lot more greens and veggies. Number two is try to push out a bunch of water. One thing I like to do, I know you guys are gonna call me gay, every single morning I use a gua sha. But this thing actually works magic because for some reason in the fucking morning, my face is beyond bloated.
What the hell?
Like it literally does not look this shape. It looks like this. And that's due to a bunch of water. So what I like to do is, number one, I like to go over my jaw with it and then the rest of my face. And that pushes out a bunch more water and it also works on the bone structure as well. So like there's bones up here. If you push the gua sha against here, it works that bone muscle or that bone structure. And then obviously another thing is to lose face fat, go on a cut. I was on a cut back then, so I kind of cut down here. So that's basically it for bone structure. Eat harder foods, incorporate the chew hard technique, debloat your face, go on a cut. Debloating your face is eating lower inflammation foods, so you can search it up. I think you could look at some of my older videos about food. And yeah, try to use gua sha or just cold water every morning. Now on to fashion sense. This one's really subjective, but you should wear things that like suit your personality, I guess. You know, for me, if I'm being honest, I have a lot of different fashion styles. The number one thing I kind of try to wear year round is something a lot of people wear nowadays, like my age, and that is just streetwear, which is like baggy jeans and then on top with maybe like a hoodie or depends, like maybe a sweater or something. But then one thing I like to incorporate a lot is formal streetwear. That's where you wear formal stuff and then streetwear on the bottom, or other way around. So one thing I like to wear is I wear like a dress shirt with a sweater over top, and then I wear a collar. But yeah, I wear a dress shirt with the sweater and then the collar up top, and then I wear baggy jeans, and then yesterday I wore Timbs on the bottom. But sometimes I wear the baggy jeans with loafers. That's formal streetwear. So I wear that a lot year round, and that's showing off my personality, right? A lot of people call it a fuckboy look, but like, I don't even understand why, but they do. But then also during summer, there's one thing I wear during summer, and that's an old money type of style. I don't wear that anywhere like else around. Maybe, but the old money during summer is like maybe really baggy, maybe it's like oversized trousers with like a nice shirt or something, or like a polo. That's old money. One thing I'm trying to get into is kind of this like cozy type of vibe. It's like baggy trousers with like a baggy t-shirt with like jewelry. It's just like simple. All this yapping is completely unnecessary. What I'm trying to say is find a fashion sense that's like suitable to you. But if you just want one recommendation that looks good on a lot of people, just streetwear. Get some baggy jeans, and then honestly, I bet half of your tops would be all right. If you have a bunch of tops like from Nike that says like just do it, then please throw that out. But like even tops like this, like honestly, I could wear this with sweats and look boring as fuck, and then wear baggy jeans, and then I would look a lot better. So yeah, honestly, just get some baggy jeans, search up streetwear, maybe even formal streetwear, whatever. It took me a long time to find like certain things that look good together, and also like what I even want to wear. It took me so long. Like I followed so many fashion people on Instagram and basically just replicated their outfits until I started experimenting my own. It was kind of annoying and kind of complicated for some reason, because like I would take concepts and completely butcher them, so I look like ass. The main thing is just experiment. Once again, if you want a basic thing that you can like wear that you want to try out and you don't know what else, streetwear should be pretty good. And then finally, your hairstyle. Your hairstyle should be something that makes your face look symmetrical. So for me, my face is kind of round, or like, I don't even know, it's like, yeah, it's quite round. If I were to get a buzz cut, I'd look so bad. And that's why I keep my hair growing out, because I look way better with it and it matches my face symmetry. Like for example, if I pull my hair back, imagine this is me with a buzz. Like, I look so fucking bad. But yeah, that's kind of why I like to keep my hair grown out. So honestly, right now I have like a mullet. It doesn't look like it right now because of the way I puffed up my hair. But this is like a mullet. And yeah, I actually think I look pretty good with it. I look way better with longer hair anyways. I mean, sometimes I've gone with that shorter hair where there's like a high fade where there's like no hair here. It's just skin and there's a little bit of hair here and it's like fucking this long. And yeah, I don't look that good with it. Right now, I feel like this is perfect. It's not too long, it's not too short. But you gotta, honestly, it took me so long. Like I was always getting done dirty by my barbers. Not because of my barber, because I told him the wrong thing. I was always getting the wrong haircuts. And it took me from grade 8 till now to find my perfect hairstyle. Yeah, I experimented so much. I went from high fades to mid fades to mid tapers to low tapers, from fucking 2 inches off the top to like half an inch off the top, from like barely any hair in the back to like full mullet. Like it took a long time. And I was always looking at what looked good on other people, but not taking their face shape into consideration and be like, okay, well, it might not look good on me. And sure, you can kind of imagine yourself be like, okay, what would I look like with a wolf cut? And yeah, sure. But it takes a lot of experimenting. So honestly, just look up some hairstyles and try to imagine in your head what you would look like with that certain hairstyle, and I think you'll be okay. And then, so that's pretty much it for glow up. The next thing is pretty simple. Exercise every day. And there's 2 main concepts you gotta focus on. Get bigger and get leaner. If you wanna like spike your progress in 2 months, which is probably not gonna happen, but your strength definitely will. But then if you really wanna like make the most amount of progress you can in 2 months, either one, there's something that I did for a summer, and that was spam 100 push-ups every day, and my bench went from 115 to 155 just by spamming 100 push-ups a day. But if you really want to make it look like you worked out in 2 months, you're not going to get massive, but it'll maybe make a difference, is work the main muscles that stand out. So that's like shoulders, definitely. You gotta like understand what you look like in a t-shirt. Like look at me, this is a really baggy t-shirt, so it doesn't really do much, but like your shoulders and your forearms, because your shoulders, you know, make it look like how wide you are, and then also your forearms, if they're veiny especially, that's a good thing, and 2, they just make it like look, yeah, do I really need to say much? And then also, of course, your arms here, like around your sleeves. Once again, I said I fell out my shirt, so like, you know, there isn't a gap, it's just filled out. It's just like this, and then there's like no gap in between. And yeah, you could probably tell that I work out. So yeah, these, mainly the arms I was focused on. I'd say chest as well, but like a lot of, especially with the type of t-shirts, where if they're really baggy, you're not gonna be able to tell. But shoulders will, and definitely your arms. So I'd say focus on the arms and the shoulders. The shoulders are really simple, honestly. A lot of people, they just work on the side, which is just done by lateral raises, which is really good. Do lateral raises, like do drop sets of that. Just spam them. And then, but people don't work on the front and rear delts. Rear delts, honestly, you want to work them, but they're not too big of a deal for a 2-month transformation. But the front are. So you can just change this by doing shoulder press or like incline. And then for the arms, honestly, for the forearms, there's 3 exercises that I like to do. Number 1, you get the cable and do these. Number 2 is you put the cable all the way down. This is with a bar, by the way, and you do reverse curls, okay? These work the muscle here. And then the third thing I like to do is I like to get dumbbells, and I like to do this. This works, there's 2 muscles up here for the forearms, if you didn't know. So this reverse curls for one of them here, and then these for another one. Those will work the forearms, that's like the entire forearm. And then for your arms, honestly, just, you gotta do all the bicep exercises. Do one that works the long head, the short head, and then the brachioradialis, and then do the tricep as well. There's one part of the tricep you're gonna work on is the one back here, which is called the lateral head, I'm pretty sure. It's like the one on the back of your arm. That's the one that's gonna give your arm the main bulk. If anything, actually the entire tricep is gonna give your arm the main bulk. People just look at the biceps and be like, yeah, let me just work biceps to get bigger arms. it should be the completely other way around. It should be the tricep. And then for get leaner, honestly, you can get lean very, very fast over summer. Like 2 months, that's a lot of time. Number one is by fasting. If you do the 16:8 ratio, which is 16 hours you fast in a day and then 8 hours you eat, fasting is actually such a powerful thing, especially if you skip breakfast. Number one, if you have school, like what I used to do when I had school and I was doing a cut, is that I would wake up in the morning, not even eat breakfast, and then the next time I eat, which is like my first meal of the day, is at like 11:30, and I wake up at 6:30. So that's like a 5-hour difference. And for that entire time, I'm fasting. I'm not eating anything. I'm just drinking water and a coffee. And that not only, number one, keeps you in a calorie deficit because you skipped one meal, but two, it keeps you in that ketosis state, which is burning fat. When you're fasting, you're actively burning fat. So people who cut, they just go in a calorie deficit and span out their meals normally, but then they don't think about fasting. Because when you're fasting, one thing you're gonna realize is that when you wake up, you might be really hungry, but then later on in the day, you're not going to when you're fasting, because your body is using your fat as energy and fuel. Hey guys, Axe here. I just want to add for this fasting part, if you do not weight train and eat enough protein, your body is going to use your muscle as a fuel source instead. So usually when you fast, it's going to use your fat, but then over time, if you don't weight train and you don't eat enough protein or do anything to maintain that muscle, you're gonna lose the muscle. So a lot of people, some people will like, maybe you're taking a break from weightlifting or you got out of routine because of summer, right? And you think, okay, do you know what, I'm just gonna lose the weight and then I'll start weight training again in the school year for whatever reason. Your main thing is just, okay, you spent all of grade 11 working out and now you have a bunch of fat and you want to cut down on that by fasting a lot and stuff like this. But if you are not weight training, or if you're not resistance training or eating enough protein, your body is gonna lose that muscle. And instead of breaking down fat, it's just gonna break down muscle. So you're still gonna have a bunch of fat and barely any muscle. So if you're gonna fast, make sure you're eating your body weight in protein. So for example, if you weigh 160 pounds, you would eat 160 grams of protein per day. And then also resistance train very often. It doesn't have to be every single day, but every single day is preferred. Maybe just like a couple push-ups here and there. But yeah, that's the number one thing. You have to resistance train and eat enough protein. So that's why fasting is so important, because you're actively getting rid of the fat that you have. Another thing is walking after every meal to help digestion. And another thing I like to do a lot is cut out carbs and sugar entirely. So when I was on a cut for 3 weeks back in spring break, I cut out carbs and sugar entirely and only scheduled some days to eat them on cheat days. And the reason I have cheat days is so when I get off the cut and go back to eating normally, I'm not gonna bulk up again. Because imagine I completely cut out carbs and sugar for my entire 3 weeks. It's not even like I could anyways because it's hard. But if I did hypothetically and started eating it again after my bulk, I'm gonna fucking bulk up. So one thing you gotta realize is that when you're cutting and you're cutting out carbs and sugar, you're gonna have a cheat day or eat just like the littlest amount every day. And sure, that might hinder your progress. Like if you cut out carbs and sugar during your cut or compared to a guy who like eats it normally in a day, the guy who cuts out carbs and sugar entirely is obviously gonna lose weight more than the guy that has a cheat day and eats whatever the hell he wants for one day. But it's about the like after the cut, because you're not gonna bulk up again if you have a cheat day. So on my cheat day, I would eat whatever the hell I want. I would go out to fucking like hot pot and like eat a shit ton of like sugar. I'm talking like 150 grams of sugar in one day. And the next morning I would be like 2 pounds up, but a lot of that is water weight. And yeah, it's not all fat, so don't let the scale but cutting out carbs and sugar, I feel like is a huge thing, especially sugar. And people are gonna be like, why would you cut out carbs when it's an energy source? If I'm being honest, I'm not entirely sure the science behind it, but when I did that, I lost weight so much faster. And if you need an energy source, just eat fat. If y'all are thinking that fat makes you fat, do some research. Fat does not make you fat. If anything, carbs will make you fat. Fat, if you're eating healthy fats, so yeah, another energy source is just fat. A lot of people who actually do Tour de France and they go on keto, which is a low carb, no carb, high fat diet. and they completely replace their energy source from carbs to fat. If anything, it works better. And then the last part is having a side hustle. This will not apply to you if you like to keep all of your goals in the dark, which is probably a good thing. But if you're showing little snippets of you, you know, working towards your goals, or like having a business, or that you have like some sort of like dedication towards something, just that alone makes people like build a lot of respect for people like towards you. It's such a little thing, but trust me, it works. Like a lot of people are gonna respect you. They're gonna be like, dude, you're really locked in. I respect that. And then there's obviously gonna be those people who are like, yeah, why are you doing this? Why don't just like, you know, there's gonna be haters. I have that as well. But honestly, you should just ignore them. But honestly, if you have a side hustle, number one, do it for yourself. But two, if you're showing that you have something that reels in money for you, and that you're dedicated, nobody can help but look up to you. And that's just a simple fact. So imagine, you gotta put this into perspective. Imagine you come back to school, your fashion style is different, your hair is a lot like better looking, I like to say. Maybe you even have facial hair. Maybe you grow like a goatee or like a beard or something. And you're bigger, you're leaner, maybe you're even a bit taller. There is ways to grow in just 2 months. I did. And then they also find out that you have a side hustle and you did that all over summer, bro. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. So if you're that type of person who wants to like feel like you have a place in the world, I like to say, or just like notice, I like to say, and you want people to recognize you, this is the number one step to do that. So guys, that's pretty much it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to subscribe because it's always free and you can always unsubscribe later. Make sure to follow my Instagram. I'll leave it in the first link in the description. That's it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace, bros.